Jon and Danny.
Guys, it's been a week. My camera makes it look like I'm kind of glitch in the matrix. But put him in, coach, backup quarterback, guest host, and FLGN producer extraordinaire gets dragged into this mess because I didn't do my job again. My name is Jon. It's going to be pretty grim after dark. My co-host today needs some deportation. He's searching for stable internet on the Oregon Trail, and he couldn't find it. It's Danny McDevitt. No, he could find it, but he's also, been in Alaska for 10 weeks, and he's actually seeing his wife for the first time in a couple of months. So I guess that's sort of isn't an okay reason. We'll make fun of him next week about it. So I forgot to book a guest. Danny is having, I believe, a wonderful dinner in Oregon. I don't know. Maybe it's McDonald's. So I guess the only option is to drag Tricky Dick from the 8th pit of hell to come host this awful show. Let's summon him in.
Yeah, I didn't sign up for this. I got this weird call. There was chanting in the background, and now I'm here. What happened, Jon? Please tell me.
How? Oh man, just everything fell apart. I think it was the advance notice of telling Val that I was just going to have him be the guest in the next few days. He was like, okay. Phenomenal. And also, perfectly, already getting comments about the title. Thanks for that Spiky Bits 101 course that we went through. But yeah. Dick, you and I are here. We're going to go through the last week in the Warhammer community. There's some great things in there.
Yep.
We also have the stuff we missed last week because we spent too long talking to Nick Horton about cool Hollywood stuff.
That was a great show, by the way.
It was, yeah. It's super good. I got to find out that Master Chief's buttocks ruined 40K in Hollywood. That's always fun to find out.
I think so.
Dickie, last week we showed off the power of change.org. As someone tried valiantly to fire someone from their legitimate dream career because they made a head sculpt that some people didn't like. So with that kind of power, I had to harness it for the good of mankind and actually created and shared this around, which is my petition to cancel Grim After Dark. With the reasoning being, guys, Monday was casserole night. Now it's not. And this week was a pretty doozy one. It was a ramen casserole.
Ooh.
You guys signed on Force is getting some real traction. We're getting over 1 signature a day, which is either a damning indication that change.org doesn't work or the fact that no one actually likes or watches us. We got some great comments like Mark Murphy saying, informative, engaging, entertaining. If I was asked to surmise Grim After Dark, I would not use any of these words.
I kind of agree, really.
It's fair, yeah. Alex Matheson, superstar host of the Frontiers podcast over in the Best in Tabletop Network, said Grim After Dark was a mistake. Totally agree for. And Kelsey letting us know the shock thing here. I want more Mob Rules episodes. It's time for a reboot. So, going full 10th edition. Dickie, why would you want to cancel Grim? Aside from the fact that with less than an hour's notice, you were informed you're producing, hosting, and starring.
Yeah. I kind of like the show, I'm going to be honest. I mean, it's fun, and it makes me giggle when I'm at my painting table. So I kind of want you guys to stick around. Sorry.
Man.
Yeah.
I think that's like the best tagline. It's like, we'll make you giggle at your painting table, which also sounds
that's a great
like
tagline, actually.
That is, yeah. Good job. We workshopped something. Look, show's already paying dividends.
Dude, we're killing it.
We're killing it. So if Grim After Dark was canceled, what would take its place in your mind?
How about like an 8-hour paint stream?
Oh, God. That sounds awful. Well,
yeah.
Igbar letting us know in chat. Hashtag cancel Grim After Dark. Yeah, we were a hashtag now.
Nice.
Because they left me on red after I sent a photo of my hobby desk.
Ooh.
That's fair. That's bad on us. Next week, resend it to us, Igbar. Or post it on the Frontline Gaming community site on Facebook. We'll put up a slide of it, and then we'll make fun of it. And I'll make Danny do it because he canceled. Why do you think? Well, you already said, but how can we stop people showing up for this? We touched on genocide, I believe. That
Yeah.
wasn't enough.
I mean,
We did a
we're
list ranking episode.
yeah, we're doing everything wrong, which it's incredible. Like we give you guys like a 2 minute wait time. We like hold on the wait screen for like extra long. We're doing all the things you should never do when you're doing a show. I don't know. I'd
That's
give
a
up.
Val Heffelfinger original, by the
Yeah.
way. Is
Yeah.
just going starting soon and then just not starting
Yeah,
soon.
just wait.
Um,
Just hold.
it's how we get our thing. Apparently, the way we get canceled is tell everyone we prefer the original art design for the Sonic movie. Igbar, that's not a thing anymore because sadly Chippendale made that an okay thing to think.
Oh, yeah. That
All
was
of this. So please, your thoughts on Sonic?
I, actually the Chip and Dale movie. I actually really enjoyed it.
It was really good.
Yeah.
It made me go back and watch Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and that movie is still delightful.
That is still really good, yeah. I
But
felt like
all this change on org
the
stuff.
end was a bit rushed though. Like it felt like they just went, okay, we need to kill this guy. We're running out of budget.
Steamroller.
Yeah, steamroller. Anyway.
But this all came from our amazing last episode where Val insisted that Hollywood mega producer Nick Horton was celebrated with the rousing sounds of God Save the Queen. Which meant that one, I didn't really want to take part in it, but also two, the video was instantly demonetized.
Yeah.
Guys, I want to put this into perspective. I've been doing edits on Grim for a while, kind of shortening it down to the version everyone hates. I've included Jurassic Park clips, King of the Hill clips. I've put in, gosh, what else? Like all kinds of things. I went from Disney to Universal to see what I could get away with. I got away with so much.
Yeah.
But it was literally the national anthem of England that got us demonetized for that. Much like the real royal family, the money from our work is now going directly to someone else. Dickie, why does the British royal family hate us and have it out for Warhammer 40,000?
I don't know, but it made me laugh when at the end of the show you were Nick was like he put his hand on his heart and you were just like you were like no I'm not doing this at the end and I was like wow he's really committed to the character here. Wow, looking for him.
Yeah, the character of Jon on Grimm is an asshole, and the real life Jon is also an asshole. Art imitates life.
What are you gonna
do? How will the royal family respond? Since the video, we delisted it because I don't want to pay money to taxes to the royal family. How are they going to respond since we delisted their money?
I would imagine there's going to be some kind of Bobby Secret Service that are going to come after us.
Sir Bobby?
With clubs and whistles, clearly, and they're going to get us and take us to, I don't know, the Tower of London or something? Is that where we're going to go?
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to be heading to SoCal the end of October here. Anytime I hear a whistle now, I will legitimately freak out and look around.
A big black hat, and you're like, oh God, no! They're on to me.
It's only a joke. Please don't undeport me. What's the opposite of deportation? Extradition.
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 Yeah.
What faction, Dickie? As a former colony yourself, there, what faction would the Queen play for Warhammer?
Sisters? I can see her being a Sisters player. Maybe that's too on the nose. I don't know.
Space Wolves because of the furry heads. She has her corgis.
Oh,
God! Like can you imagine, like if you had all of your Space Wolves, but instead of the amazing dog heads that they have now, you just 3D printed a bunch of corgi heads to put on them.
She's pretty well known for not having feelings, right? So, maybe.
But she's an old English lady. It's like a racial trait.
Yeah, it's kind of part of the deal. Maybe AdMech. Maybe she's an AdMech player.
It's true.
Yeah,
it's true. They do worship. Biggie, let us know on YouTube. She's the Emperor. No.
No.
Moving on. We did have an amazing conversation with Nick about TV development and kind of the process everything goes through. Nick told us a whole bunch of things that were just insane to me, but that's how it's going on. Terry let us know in our comment section, however, that, let's pull this up here, you could rebox all 15 seasons of Supernatural as a Dark Heresy show and it would work. all 987 seasons of Cops, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Necromunda Other Halves would make a great Saturday morning lineup. Dickie, what are some other good TV shows you could rebrand as Warhammer? Fill your Saturday morning lineup with Warhammer cartoons.
Thundercats.
Again, Space Wolf.
That's easy,
Love
right?
It.
What?
No.
You get one now. You go.
There was an old British claymation TV show called Trapdoor.
Yeah.
Which was like one of my favorite things. And this is going to be a reference that, according to our YouTube analytics, about 15% of our audience we're actually going to get. But like that, I want to see a claymation Warhammer show. I think that would be quite what. And then Igbar letting us know Firefly is Rogue Traders.
Mm-hmm.
Firefly is a terrible show that doesn't deserve any love.
Yeah.
And Seth Oster, of course, let us know. Oh God, what did I just walk into?
Yeah, it's also his name is Meth Boster, I believe.
Oh no, that was like last month's joke.
Oh right.
Okay. If it doesn't bother him, then what's even the point? But yeah, you just walked into heck without a tier list. Guys, year 2 of Warhammer Plus is a go. With the free miniatures being shown off, this year you guys have the chance of getting your greedy little mitts on Azerite the Annihilator.
What were you gonna say?
Oh, give me a second here. Mibbler Darkfang. Mibbler? Mibbler. Like the little thing in Futurama. Dickie, what are your thoughts on these 2 minis for this year?
Yeah, actually, Meth or Seth or whatever we're calling him these days. I just unsubscribed to Warhammer Plus, and he showed me the backlit, and I knew exactly what model it was, like instantly, because everyone knows that cover of White Dwarf, and I was like, God damn it, they got me again. So yeah, no. Before my subscription ran out, I re-upped. I hope that doesn't break the 1 year mark. But yeah, I'm now officially.
I think
yeah.
What's super great to take away from this is this time, instead of having to wait 9 months for your miniature, if you subscribe for the year, they're going to send it after 1 month. So like that's super big, super helpful for that.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, if you do the monthly, you got to do 12 months in a row, which I guess is a thing.
Yeah.
Azerite, of course, is based on the famous White Dwarf cover, which I think was like issue 182 from back in the day.
Yeah.
And the artist for the piece, Mark Gibbons, was really quick to share this story about him after the model was announced, saying he painted a mere 28 years ago. I think the previously unnamed Azerite the Annihilator is my most published Games Workshop piece, but it's a painting that almost never happened. I submitted his sketch as a freelance commission to GW when John Blanche reviewed it. He asked for a more dynamic, arms-raised posture and a deeply uncharacteristic fit of peak. I said if I couldn't paint him the way I wanted to, then I wasn't going to paint him at all. John, not wanting to escalate my diva moment to Beyonce-like proportions, relented, and all these years later, Azerite strides into the tabletop, courtesy of the warp-powered sculpting and painting masters within the GW design studio.
That's
boy, cool buddy. Dickie, how big are Mark Gibbons' balls to tell the guy deciding if you get paid for your artwork or not? No.
Maybe he just didn't care. Like, this is the piece that he wanted to show, and too bad, so sad kind of thing. I guess his balls are quite large, actually. So yeah, good for him.
It's like a struggling artist in the early 90s, and you're like, oh, please, Daddy Games Workshop, please commission a piece. And it was like, well, what if you raise the hands above the head like I'm going to just go down in my camera here like, ah! Yeah. And he's like, no, I'm not going to do that.
I mean, I don't know. Did GW pay back then?
I'll have you know, he got 35% off of one kit of his choice.
Oh, well. And
a free lunch voucher with the purchase of a full price lunch from Bugman's.
Okay, well, so no, he didn't get paid. Got
it. So what are your thoughts on Azerite? Dickie, you're like a big World Eaters guy. You got him at 30K. You have him coming for 40K here.
Yeah.
What's your take on this model here, which is a very old school aesthetic and kind of away from what we're used to now for Chaos Space Marines?
I mean, so he's super simple, right? I think that's like he's clean, like the lines are very clean. The trim is already the trim is giving me fits personally painting trim. So I'm like, oh, I can't paint more trim. Like this can't happen. But honestly, I'm gonna get him and I'm gonna paint him. I don't know what I'm gonna use him for. Whether he's gonna be a captain or I don't know. He's gonna be something. I'm gonna get him for sure. You have to at this point. I'm all in. I'm all in, John.
Is this a better or worse model, subjectively, than the Vindicator that was part of last year's 40K offering? Well, the kind of the big sister head.
Mm.
It's a very dynamic model, great kind of scene.
I think the Vindicator is probably a better model. It definitely has more bits and bobs to it. I like the pose. I like that it's very raised. I would say the Vindicator is a better model. Yeah,
That's fair.
yeah.
This is like exclusively based on an art piece again. Like we said that Mark Gabens did for the cover of White Dwarf here. Are there any other kind of artworks at this moment where you're like, man, I really want to see a modern model off of that piece?
Let me go into my collection of wipe doors beside me here, and
I like
yeah.
how you moved your puppet head so it doesn't look like you're moving off screen. Personally,
ahead.
there's like in the old Warhammer Battles Wood Elf book, the Orion, just very standing, striking. Like I want a modern Orion so bad.
Yeah, I
Um,
do have an answer.
you go, yeah.
Issue 477, which is quite recent. There's a Chaos Marine with a double-handed axe that there is actually a model for, believe it or not. But making him new would be totally kick-ass. So do that, GW, please. That would be awesome. Because obviously
Like
you watch this
now.
show. Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
As for the other model, Dark Fang, as I refuse to pronounce the first name again, guys, like GW, their writers and rules designers and lore people are paid by the consonant. It's most famous though, and the guys are going insane online over the familiars that are coming out, which are based on old Citadel designs again. Uh, Thankfully, they didn't redo the Naked Cat Girl, who was one of the more famous and requested familiars.
Yeah.
Seen her in all her unfortunate glory. Dickie, you're an old school fantasy player. What are
Yeah.
your thoughts on the Chaos Familiars that had come out compared to the ones from before?
Actually, the old ones are actually way cooler. I really like the wooden guy with the mace. That thing's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool.
Little pumpkin head dude,
Little
yeah.
pumpkin head dude is really good. The little wizard dude. Oh, these things are amazing. Why didn't they? And
Yeah.
I can't see the naked girl. There's some guy's face over it. So
Yeah, if you just delete the face on the PowerPoint slideshow,
yeah, I'll do that.
then
I'll do
that'll
that
come
after
all
that.
the way up.
That's a grim, way after dark kind of show that we're.
Yeah. Talking about getting demonetized
Yeah.
based on content. So there's number one right there. Compared to last year's Uruk miniature, I was going to call it like an Uruk war boss. I don't know Age of Sigmar things, whatever
No,
it's
me
called.
either.
The thing everyone converted into a Maganob or like an Orc boss.
Yeah.
How's it compare?
What are you saying? How does it compare? One of those little guys compared to the
No, like all of the, because like the miniature, you get the like the consonant
the
magnet
caster and the
lady
other things. Here, let
and
me
the
go.
things.
Here, let me go back. Here, let me go back.
Are you going for like one big model that kind of just looks like a slightly repositioned existent Auric Mega Boss? Or are you like going for the like kind of cool redesign of the older piece, which seems to be the theme from this year?
I kind of like the caster though. Like, right? Like here, I'll post
Yeah,
it.
the
Yeah.
caster's cool as heck.
Yeah.
Also,
It's
the
cool.
little pop person
Yeah.
that is falling over. That's the coolest guy there.
Yeah, and the guy in the armor is kind of similar to the one that's like, it's definitely like a nod, right? So yeah, good for them. Good for them.
Yeah, awesome. Guys, demons are coming at some point here, one would assume. As we see here, Balakor, with Balakor, you would assume finally in his new and improved form in the book. Dickie, I feel much more comfortable asking you this than
Yeah.
Danny, but based solely on the previews that have been published so far, like the warp storm effects, addition of kind of a new kind of save. How are demons shaping up to you?
We still don't know so much. Uh, so I guess they're gonna be cool. I think I'm a big fan of bloodletters. They have extra attacks now, which is nice. A 4-up and vulnerable, I believe they posted on the community site. That's way better than a 5-up.
Mhm.
So yeah, super stoked to see what happens. There's so much we don't know though. I have a
On
feeling this
those
book's gonna be huge.
invulnerables.
Yeah.
So it's not even an invulnerable anymore. We have
No.
another plus to add there. So we have our regular save, which is kind of our 1+, our invulnerable save, our feel no pain, and now we have our demonic saves. How do you think that's going to translate to the table? Is that kind of a good mechanic that was put in there?
Uh, I mean, there's so many limited things that take away in Vaughn saves, right? So I think it's a good gimmick. I think it's a good thing for the demons to have. I mean, they don't have a lot of guns, you'll notice. So
No.
I think this is a good balance. I mean, I could be totally wrong, and I have been wrong in the past, and they could just completely destroy the meta when they come out. I have no idea. But yeah, I think it's a good play. And we haven't really seen Bellacor's rules or even the greater demons yet, so
Right.
um that'll be super interesting because that's really where the power in the codex is, right now anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah.
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 Right now, there's one or two models doing a heck of a lot of work
Yeah.
for a little book. Hopefully, that's not it anymore in the future.
Yeah. Mm.
Anyway, let's have some fun, Dickie.
Um,
Hey, the Honest Wargamers popular 40K adjacent show returned last week, and well,
oh
Valerie
Jesus.
Heffelfinger got a little too into the spirit.
Oh.
Uh, Dickie, please explain for the audio-only listener what we're looking at right now.
I'm contemplating like if I push this button, am I gonna get in trouble? Is what I'm contemplating right now. I'm gonna push it.
Ah, you're fine.
I'm
Tell
pushing
me
it.
to do it.
Okay.
There we go.
All right. So, okay. Do you remember the band Smash Mouth?
Oh, I mean, classic rock. Of
Yeah.
course, I remember the band Smash Mouth.
Okay. So Val looks like he was shit out by the band Smash Mouth and punched in the
And
face
raised
by
to adulthood by Guy Fieri.
yes, yes. Oh, you literally took the words out of my mouth. Uh, he's got his Frontline Gaming glasses. He's got his headphones. He's got his board of sadness behind him. And being in that room, I can tell you, there's only things that he hasn't done on that board. So when he looks at
Yeah.
it, he gets just discouraged every time.
It's definitely a demotivational tab
Oh,
quiz.
it's awful. It's awful. I got to take him off the screen. He's killing me. So yeah, Smash Mouth meets Guy Fieri, slammed together, making the perfect director of Frontline Gaming Network. Yep.
Yeah, it's a very creative costume.
Yeah.
Uh, Now he was also wearing what would you would have to assume is the official uniform of Team Australia at the World Team Championship,
Yes.
a vest, a sleeveless vest. Dickie, do you feel like Val's shameless bandwagoning of Australia helped them to what I have to assume was a victory at WTC?
Oh, he clearly knew something. Yeah. Um, Clearly he knew something. I don't know what he knew, but he knew something. Uh, did he? Did
Was
he
it
know?
about Warhammer? Probably not.
It was probably fantasy based, if I'm gonna be honest. But yeah, I don't know, man. He he's a fan of WTC, so yeah, I don't know. I think he was. I think it's just super hot in that room. I'm gonna be honest, and he just didn't want to die of heat exhaustion. That's why I put a tank top on officially.
That's fair.
Yeah.
As we kind of said earlier, WTC World Team Championship was back last weekend after a 2-year absence due to the COVID pandemic, with Australia taking the top spot, doing an amazing job over the event. The event, though, it wasn't really streamed outside of some specific games, sort of in French, and there was some English from the French team,
Yeah.
but there was no kind of main stream site for it. How popular do you think the coverage of the event would have been, Dickie, as someone who streams 40K?
I think it would have been really, really popular. If you noticed a lot of the French stream, they had like like 1,800 viewers and things like that. And you did get English, so the players have to talk in English during the game. And the French guys obviously were speaking in French over as you're commentating, as Adam Camilleri or Paul Murphy or Nick Nadavati would have done. So I think it would have been a huge event, right? Like I know I
Mhm.
was watching it as much as I could. I don't know about you, but yeah, the fact that it was only streaming the French event, obviously it sucked, but I think you would have had thousands of people watching the England versus USA game or something like that. So yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel it reduces the legitimacy of the event that it wasn't wider covered? Because again, yeah, we had an amazing French stream, which was
Yeah.
really well done. It was great, but as they are will to do, is very focused on their team, their players.
Yeah.
Um, do you think that kind of the event almost suffered from not being more widely available to a greater audience?
Yeah, I don't maybe, yeah, for sure. They should have brought someone in, right? I just don't know. Like this is the first year for WTC, so I don't know, did they run into budget problems? I don't know. There's so many factors there um that could have happened. I really don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair. And we'll tell you from Dickie here,
Mm.
superstar frontline producer who
Yo
helps
yo
kind of
yo.
produce LVO, to all these things, to this stream show that's being hosted. There's no money in streaming, but I
There's
totally get.
yeah, there's zero money in streaming. Yeah, you don't do this for the money. You do it for some other dumb
Yeah,
reason. Yeah.
so I totally get it, but I do certainly hope that everything we heard from the players, from the team captains, Go Innes Wilson, Scotland 14th overall. That's pretty good for what they are. Um, and then just everything is just an amazing event that just should be shared. Uh, and I'm super excited to see it grow and continue. But ultimately, Team Australia came out on top with America not far behind.
Yeah.
With Team USA's unique tactic of just taking really, really, really good singles players, not quite enough to defeat the Thunder from Down Under,
Ooh,
or the Polish Assault, for the
Thunder
people who
from
came
Down Under.
second. Yeah, that's. I also
That's
believe
well
that's a
trademarked.
male strip group.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was worried. Yeah. Okay. Good.
One of the greatest things that happened at the event was this video that God is going to work flawlessly first time.
You actually. Oh, okay. One sec.
So, get the tissues. We came up with an idea that the WTC, whether we try not to be authority figures, we try not to influence anything, it does stand for something more. We're the premier event in the world, you guys are the best players in the world. And we demonstrate to the rest of the world that this is the way we do things, this is how competitive play is done. And what we've decided is we want to lift, when we have opportunities, certain people in our community, this family, who go sort of above and beyond to have a positive influence on the entire community outside of us, the global community. This person gives up so much of his time, free time, he goes on, he's always talking positively about our sport, he's trying to lift our sport to like a new level of recognition, of global recognition. On top of that, he's had a very hard life. And how he talks about this, he talks about his struggles, has inspired people in this room and thousands outside this room. I've been told this person by people. So the first ever, we don't have a name for it yet, is a WTC ambassador, WTC legend, Adam Camilleri. Best painted. In third place, Italy. Second place, Netherlands. The best painted team is France. Before we get to the top 3, it's obviously a big secret, no one knows who won this yet. Most favoured opponent, most sporting team. Me and Tom bang on and on and on and on and on and on about gently gaming, be part of the WTC. And since the results are secret, you don't know who's come first. Overall, I can tell you the most sporting team is Australia.
Whoa! Hey! Ha ha ha!
Third place, after pretty big results in the final round, showing that they may be a very new team, they've still got it in them. Third place, Team Germany! My greatest honour to present the inaugural World 40k Champions, Australia!
Yeah, Dickie! Yeah, boy! Yes!
One, two, three.
Back. What you just saw was the entirety of the coverage for WTC. We got our hands on there. But what a great event! Canada, you guys put passports in shoes. Australia put beers in shoes.
Yeah, it's all about the shoe with WTC. Oh, great! I lost John. I'm here alone. Okay, good.
But the most important thing is Adam Camilleri getting the recognition he so strongly deserves for his insane positivity and dedication to the hobby, and being entered into the WTC Hall of Fame, or seeing as it is his birthday today, probably entombed in it, because he's getting on a bit there. Dickie,
yeah,
because it's his birthday,
yeah,
please say at least one nice thing about Adam Camilleri.
He's always on time. He's always on time. No, honestly, he works so hard. When we do streaming events, he's always there at like just ridiculous times of the day, like 2 a.m. getting ready to stream an event. He's always there. He's always full of energy, as you guys notice. He always does a great job commentating games. So yeah, good on him. He definitely deserves that legendary award for sure.
Yeah. Absolutely, and I think you can't ever underestimate what he provides, like the Nopen commentary, Charity Hammer commentary, LVO commentary. So imagine just hours of flying, then being up for like 12 to 15 hours, talking about Warhammer you're watching in front of you, and having your energy level never drop, never having an off day. That's impossible. There's only one of a kind, and hopefully there won't be another.
Yeah.
Moving on. Back to the memes.
What does that even mean?
Who even knows? It's,
okay. There we
it's
go.
Poetic. Majestic. If you're worried that your family won't know the value of your collection, you're right. As far as Jackson Wells showed us on Facebook here, what we see is a beautifully painted Angron, a wonderfully painted and converted Demon Prince of Nurgle. He's saying here, Dad has a bunch of pro-painted minis like this. How much would they go for?
Jeez.
Dickie, how much would you pay for that converted Demon Prince of Nurgle?
See the I know you guys are like after the tier list. You guys are so hot on this Nurgle Demon Prince. Just I gotta say, it doesn't do that. Angron, on the other hand, that's a great looking model. Uh, I'd at least give him $40 for it,
At
Canadian.
least $40.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Do you know you could buy 2 Eastern versions of it for $40? It's crazy that you would do 40
No.
just for one. For validation purposes,
Yeah.
maybe we can kind of think about our prices
Okay.
after
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
The Nurgle Prince on the right was a legitimate Golden Demon winning model, as
Huh.
there's slide showed. The next picture here shows it won 2008 for single large miniature,
Oh, I'll do the picture.
which is
Bam.
insane to me. There we go. Yeah. It took gold the Los Angeles 2008 Golden Demon for large model.
Jesus
So
Christ.
you can put thousands of hours of work into a painting conversion job, or you can put 10 minutes on a quick slap chop. Eventually, your kids or someone else's kids will be like, "Someone give me $20 for this." Who knows?
That's
It's
scary.
gonna be a thing.
So my question is,
Yeah.
I know we don't go back into history. Do you think that kid was trying to hawk his dad's models?
Like, so there's 2 scenarios, right? And I
Yeah.
don't want to talk about either of them. Either his dad died
Oh,
or his dad
Jesus.
left.
Or his dad's at work and he's trying to hawk his dad's models.
It's gonna. Okay, so Dickie, you're a father.
Yeah.
Could you imagine going to work, coming home to find your KB, and you're like, "Where do you get that new Xbox from?" Yeah, I sold your model.
Yeah.
What do you do to that?
Well, I don't condone violence. But I would be finding that model wherever that thing went. Yeah, oof. That's a rough one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is.
Yeah.
I think, like I said, the worry is that when I die, and my family will sell my Warhammer for as much as I told them I paid for it. It is a never-ending struggle to describe what Warhammer is. And this picture does it better than I ever could. There's a bunch of Roman legionaries jumping out of an attack helicopter, which is fantastic. And if you watch the last week's episode with Nick Horton, when I asked for his 30-second Warhammer elevator pitch, he's like, oh no. It's really hard to describe, guys. People just don't get it. But chat, you can jump in on this too. Dickie, what's your 30-second pitch for describing what Warhammer is without using any of the imagery we just saw?
Yeah, it's good imagery.
To someone who knows nothing about Warhammer.
Oh, geez, how do I explain it to? Okay, so I'm gonna talk to you like I talk to my wife. It'll be really respectful. Okay. All I say is I play with little plastic men, and we make space sounds with our lips. Yeah, that's it. I mean, I'm not getting a movie bloody deal, John. So that's just how I explain it.
You don't know that. You could.
I guess, yeah, I could. I do know Nick, so I'm
there's a Fox Searchlight picture of like a stream producer and the life he goes through right there.
Yeah,
that'd be quite good.
Yeah.
A lot of tree fitty jokes. Love that. Super good to go.
Yep.
GW, bless their hearts, they do get a lot of flack for its rules design. Actually, I'm going to jump back here. Igbard letting us know. Imagine a Powerwolf album that makes fun of Christianity, and we all laugh at the universe's mystery. At that point, you have to explain what a Powerwolf album is, too.
Yeah.
So this is kind of like a Russian nesting doll of many explanations of things. The next thing you know, it's 4 hours later, and you're by yourself.
Yeah. You're still by yourself. Yeah.
GW. Warhammer Australia, green and tan army man. It's like that, but expensive. I'm assuming the O stands for Australia.
Yeah.
So yeah, I totally get very expensive. But rules design. It's forcing some people to create crazy memes. I like this one here. It's the kids being like, well, I get past your invulnerable save. Well, I don't have an invulnerable save. I have a demonic save. And, kind of all the thing. And the GW like, yeah, that's brilliant. Let's do
Write that down.
Write that down. I'm waiting for the guns that go past the demonic save, and then the demonic save that ignores the guns that go past the demonic save. It's going to be just flawless writing. There's going to be so many pluses, all in a way to backdoor promote Warhammer Plus. But Dickie, what's the worst rule GW has ever done?
Is the 2-inch engagement range in play right now, or are we allowed to talk? I know we weren't allowed to talk about that. Are we allowed to talk about it now since it still exists?
It's a new one. It's certainly a choice.
I'm gonna move my head in a quizzical way here. I think that's it really does, like, it changes the game. I don't have you played with it? I know a lot of people aren't playing with it.
So I played with it a little. As a Chaos Knight player, I personally love it. It's great that I can
I mean, I'm a
come out of
player.
Deep Strike.
Yeah.
I can come out of Deep Strike and just get like a 6-7 inch charge, like right off the bat.
Yeah.
Kill a bunch of stuff and consolidate away from the nasty things if I don't kill them.
Yeah.
Like, it's so abused, and you can tell. Maybe they were like, "Hey, intern." He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Fix this." And cool, I fixed this one thing. You're like, "Great, let's just publish it and I'll think about it." Because while it does fix the problem of like impossible charges and standing just slightly more than an inch away, it creates so many more problems.
It does create a lot of problems. I had a recent issue. I had guys in a Rhino, and you can't get out of a Rhino with an engagement range. And with 2-inch engagement range, I couldn't get out of my Rhino. So my 5 Berserkers, well, they're dead now. And that's on me. But it's also on the 2-inch engagement range. So yeah, man. I don't know. So yeah, that's probably the worst.
Chat letting us know that it can be fun. But the thing is, for me, it's a non-interactive, gamey thing to do.
Yeah.
So like, you'll see a lot of like top players, they use movement, and that's kind of what separates your 3 and 2s and your 2 and 1s from the people with like an 80% plus win rate, is they really know how to maximize movement and restrict movement. And the 2-inch engagement range are going to just wreck an entire table quarter, or even especially with the player place terrain, you can really set it up in a way that you can command a huge board area with a very few amount of models. And it's just like, it fixes the problem of an engagement range, but it just adds so many other ones here. And my worry is, they were like, "Hey guys, we fixed it. We're going to do this." And they do the thing to fix it. But in fixing that thing, they add 15 other things. And it's going to be like a little old lady who swallowed a fly, but for gaming rules.
Can I just say how on bloody point chat's been? Like how much money FLG's saving to not have a max headroom filter on your camera? Oh my god.
Yeah. Guys, so if you're just joining us, quick recap. Get you up to speed. Danny's out. He pieced out of Alaska, so his internet's going to be better. But for this week, his wife wants to spend time with him because he's been away for 2.5 months in an internship, which, get it. Tricky Dick here, jumping on in after the weekend. I let Val know, "Hey, you're probably going to guest on Monday." He's like, "Yeah, cool, can't wait." And then kind of lets Dick know an hour ago.
Yeah, weird how that worked
And then,
out.
of course, when we load it up, my camera just starts flickering.
Yeah,
it's wonderful. On the flip side of that, this might be a little harder for you. What's the best rule GW has ever had? The most satisfying thing for you?
The best rule GW has ever had. The best.
Chat, jump in on this too.
Yeah, help me out here.
I'm going to give you one. This is going to be an unpopular one. It's going to be even a controversial one.
Yeah.
I dearly miss Seize the Initiative.
I don't. but why do you miss it? Why was it a big deal for you? Was it just that uncertainty?
So is that uncertainty, right?
Yeah.
Because when you're deploying, if I know I'm going first, I'm going to just turbo load everything up front and like just push. Yep, we're going. But if you have like that 13% chance of uncertainty that you're maybe not going first, it kind of makes you rethink things a little bit. Also, I had a really cool special dice for it, which I don't ever get to use anymore.
Aw.
It said shit on 5 of the sides, and it said fuck yeah on the top. So when you roll,
awesome.
when you rolled your C's dice, then you know for sure if it went off or not, and you're just gonna be like, F yeah.
That's really
when it
cool,
went
actually.
off, which I never did. But yeah, I
I-
nothing to use that dice for now.
You've delayed long enough for me to find my rule that I
Oh,
enjoyed.
good, dude. That's all I hope for in this
Yeah,
world.
thank you for so much. I think I actually the rule of 3 for me was
Okay.
like a good rule because I was in this meta where there was just hive tyrants everywhere, and I didn't want to deal with them anymore.
I ran 6.
Yeah, you're a bad person. So,
I was.
the rule of 3 probably was the best rule that they and also I saw the people with all those hive tyrants just look really sad for a couple weeks, and that also made me happy. So yeah,
I was very sad.
yeah.
Chat's jumping in here to night fighting as a rule. Do you remember night fighting? What's your thoughts on night fighting?
It's still here, like in Horus Heresy, right? So you can still night fight if you want. No big deal.
Yeah, and apparently I can still seize if I want, but I don't want to play Space Marine the game. Orcs being able to buy heavy armor for 4+ save. That was okay.
Remember looted wagons?
Okay. Here is a controversial one from
Mm.
young Joe Atkins in chat. Scatter dice, or as I like to call them, argument machines.
Yeah.
Dickie, what's your memory of scatter dice?
Ironically, if anyone has a counter going for fantasy, I play with scatter dice every once in a while when I go to the Heffelfinger household to play. And there is some arguments that happen still because the angle that I choose isn't the angle that he wants, and the angle that I want isn't the angle. It's a mess, and you just someone has to placate the other person at the end, and yeah.
Dickie, are you the placater?
I'm a bit of a placater. Yeah. He just
You
ends
are.
up killing himself like all the time, and I don't know.
Another one coming in here for chat. Templates. How do you feel about templates?
Templates were also. I don't know if you did this, but I do this, especially now. I just give the template and go, that's where I am. Can you just tell me how many guys are under it?
Yeah.
Because if you go over there and you start making a case for 35 or whatever, like ludicrous number, you're always going to get a battle. So just let the guy tell you. And if he's a gamey bastard, don't play at his house anymore, I guess.
I'm going to agree with Greenblood here. Templates were garbage. My main memories of templates was I used to play orcs. And I had like my Burn It Boy mob in a truck. And there's something just dirty. I remember like just driving up to like a squad crew, dropping down one template and being like, okay, that's 100 hits. Because everyone's firing. Or even the worst thing of, someone has like a large blast template in the army. So when you're deploying or moving, you spend 17 minutes positioning your army. So every model is exactly 2 inches apart. That was not great.
Yeah.
How do we feel?
Templates were bad.
7th edition. Man, we're just going all like history here now. 7th edition. Anyone can summon.
I mean, it was cool. It was interesting. It probably broke the game, but I mean, other than that, I mean, yeah, whatever. Anything chaos is good with me. I'm good with whatever. Let's just make this. Let's make this awesome. Is what I go with.
The worst army I think I ever played against was at a GT. I want to say it was 7th, but it was Tau mixed with Khorne Demonkin.
Perfect.
Mixed with like one other faction. It was Necrons. And I was just like, okay. He's like, you have to keep all of them like 6 inches apart or whatever because they hate each other. And I'm like, man, that seems really unfun. It's the same reason I hate like Star Trek Attack Wing or the Star Trek Fleet Command game. That's terrible because you can do weird random things.
Mangled the name. I love it. Yeah. Okay.
I have all the models, but like I played it once and I'm like, why is Worf flying this Romulan ship? I'm like, oh, because it can. I'm like, well, that's a terrible reason for it.
Fair enough.
But yeah, man, it's awful.
Yeah.
Dickie, there's been a lot of terrible proxies out there.
Yep.
Just like this guy here. This is just literally, if you're listening to the audio version of the show.
Do you want me to explain it for everyone? Am I going to take
a sprue on a base. Yeah. Maybe you want to do a better description of that one there.
It's some kind of orange tack as well. Like they didn't even glue it. They just tacked it to the underside of the base, which is just zero commitment to the cause, really.
I remember the original Imperial Knight Codex came out, remember it was like $40 for a 2-page book.
Yeah.
The morning it came out, there was an RTT in our local area, and there was a player who was there Saturday morning as the store opened, hastily assembling 4 knights.
Jesus Christ.
to play them, and they were not fantastically put together. The same player, I believe.
Did he do well at least? Did he like really commit?
Oh yeah, because like it was the first time Knights came out, so he smashed everyone because no one expected to like run into like 4 Knights on release
Plus a
day.
base is really scary because you can't see it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think this was the same guy. He ran. I think the worst proxy I ever saw was a cutout piece of college ruled paper for a base, and a transformer toy on top as a riptide.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like unconverted. Dickie, you're in Canadian land where everyone's polite and there's no terrible modeling.
Yeah, we're nice people. Yeah.
What's the worst proxy you've ever seen?
Worst proxy I've ever seen.
Just while you're thinking that, there, chat's coming in with a red Solo Cup drop pods. I remember those
I've
as
seen
well.
that before. Yeah.
My chat, guys watching, listening, my most hated conversion proxy, bar none, is the people who buy a drop pod and just flip the fins upside down and call it a Dreadclaw because it's not the same footprint at all. It's not even close.
Yeah,
it's
way larger.
So many terrible conversions from that one there. I mean, like, I'm literally just boiling with rage thinking about all of those quote unquote Dreadclaws that are out there from that.
I can't really think of one. There was a guy and he 3D printed. I know that's a dangerous word. He 3D printed. Do you remember when the Scorpius launcher was a big deal?
Oh yeah.
He 3D printed one of those, but it was bright, like red see-through plastic, and he refused to paint it. So that was probably my most hated. He was a great guy, really nice. So I'll play him again. But that was probably, I make fun of him every time I see it, and I'll continue to. Yeah.
Yeah. James on YouTube letting us know he used the worst proxy he's ever seen. Go tough on himself out. An Eminem in a Boba Fett outfit standing in for a Spacewolf Venerable Dreadnought and an Elder Wraithlord.
Wow.
Hopefully not in the same game.
Huh. And he got 10 points on painted out on that game.
Yeah, obviously.
Sure.
Yeah. We're rounding out here, guys. We're going to talk about, speaking of awfulness, spiky bits. We go there, so you don't have to.
Yeah.
They spent more time on a thumbnail than we ever have.
Oh, yeah.
To let us know that GW edited an article after it was published.
Yeah, let me throw it up.
Booyah! Booyah! So the headline, I'm shook. GW literally went back in and edited today's Demon post after it went live as well.
That's a great
GW
thumbnail.
is making to their Warcom post. It's just a psycher. Just can't believe it.
But he's holding his head in anger. You can, as a thumbnail creator, I can really respect this guy's game on thumbnails.
I will say, for as much fun as I make of them and their content and kind of their writing style, their thumbnail animator or creator, you guys are looking for work. You just reach out, let us know, and because there's some quality work going on here. Yeah. What in your eyes? So this is an article, by the way, as you might have been able to tell from the headline for once. GW edited something after an article was published, which, I mean, I guess they had two articles lined up. One was that they let a mistake stay in an article, or one that they edited an article. They were like, which one do we push forward?
Yeah.
But Dickie, what would be a flimsier excuse for an article?
A flimsier excuse for an article? Oh man,
yeah,
you got me. I was expecting you to I don't know. GW.
Well, okay, what were you expecting? Let's go from that.
What was I expecting? I was expecting to say like what does this mean, or why would GW do this? I mean, it happens all the time, right? Like, have you ever sent a text and like unsent it before? Come on, John, look at me with those eyes. Look at You've unsent a text, my friend. I know you have. I know I have.
There's times I wish I could unsend text.
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh, nope. I can't do that.
That's real now. That's a thing that I said. I mean, people screw up, right? Especially on, like, I will have you know that I was still holding on to hope for 2 wound Chaos Space Marines after the article said that Chaos Marines are getting 2 wounds. I held on to that hope for like 8 months, and they didn't unsend that. They should have. They should have unsent
They
that.
should have, yeah.
Yeah. So good on them for doing this post. Anyway, to
Yeah,
answer the
it's
question that you
time-
actually asked.
It's time to call out people who go in to improve their product after it's come out.
Yeah, those
Because
bastards.
essentially, this is an article complaining that someone went back in and corrected mistakes after it was released. Probably
Yeah.
directly after an article complaining that people didn't fix their product directly after it was released, which is just chef's kiss and duality there.
There is a disconnect. There's a disconnect between the community team that does the articles and the rules team. Clearly, they're not the same team. So there may be an interpretation that goes wrong or something like that. So, and some guys, I mean, are they proofreading it? There's so many unknowns. If only we had a GW employee to let us know how this is actually done.
I will say, as someone who has been published by Warhammer community,
wow.
that would be me here.
Wow.
They got real desperate for content during COVID. They are proofread.
Oh.
Because I did an article for them. And I was sharing my favorite mobile games because there's a lot of really good GW mobile games. My number one option was removed instead of a top 5.
Again, I'm alone. I'm alone in this world. John.
And that was also removed.
Oh, man. I'm just glad you're back, personally.
Oh, no, I went away. Oh, no.
Yeah. I'm just basically sitting going, I'm alone now. Great. Oh, then there was one. Yeah, I don't know, man. Mistakes happen. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anywho.
So Dickie, you super produce the majority of Frontline Gaming's content here.
Yes.
Let's get some clickbaity headlines for the rest of the network here. So what would be a better clickbaity headline for last week's Thursday show? Their week 2 coverage of the WTC.
We know who's going to win the WTC or something like that. Like just blatantly tell people like, oh, we know who's going to win, or the jig's up, we got the winners, or something like that before the event even happens. Yeah, something like that.
Or match fixing in progress. We have the inside scoop.
Exactly, right? Yeah, like something like that. Yeah, like we've got a big show. Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, Dutch Express. Good old Kelsey letting us know. The Thursday show predicted the winner of a GT, and you won't believe what it was. Classic.
I mean, I was there. It's most of the time they go Necrons. They're pretty good, and then it's like, oh, sisters. Well, they're not. It's not like they're picking like guard to take an event or something like that. They're picking like great armies, and they're not picking players, right? So, yeah. I mean, good job, guys. I guess. They're right often.
What is so you're again as a content creator yourself, Dickie? It's a really fine line to traverse between clickbait and kind of engagement, right?
Yeah.
Because like we've seen it here.
Okay.
We've seen like shows I've done where I've edited in a very kind of almost clickbaity title. I do really well when it's just my nonsense stream of consciousness that I want to do. Like it doesn't do as well. So how do you kind of balance going full clickbait where you're like, oh, you'll never believe what brand of pencils GW uses, to kind of like an actual informative title that's going to help your show?
It is actually a thing though. Like the numbers are clear as day. Like when we do a title like that, there is more views. And they're on the show, and it's ridiculous. I don't know why, but if we do make shows, I'm staring at the next slide that we're gonna show. But and I know that show got more views than the week prior or whatnot. So it's just I don't know. I don't know why I don't know why the public's the way they are, but they want the drama and the intrigue and stuff like that.
Yeah, buddy. And like I didn't even do notes for this next part because I
Yeah.
was just like, no, we're probably done after this. But throw that next one up and show what we were talking about here, because this
Yeah.
is the feedback I got. There was an episode of Signals that
Yeah.
said, "Win LVO, hack your hobby score, or remove them completely." Is an old episode of Signals of the Front Line.
Yeah.
And you're right, Dickie. That episode got like a ton of traction there.
Yeah. And it was just a guy talking about how to like hobby better. So I don't know, it's hard. Like, do you think people are misled sometimes, and they're mad about it? I don't know. I don't think they are.
I think what it taps into,
Yeah.
clickbait, especially, and the reason it works so well in 40K, as we as players and the Warhammer community at large, majority of us think we're something special, or we're doing something. Like, the joke is, I remember joking with someone at LVO when they came up, I was like, "Oh yeah, I have a podcast." I'm like, "My brother, everyone in this room has a podcast that they're on. Like, everyone's a content, everyone's getting stuff." And then it's also why, and I didn't touch on it earlier, and I totally skipped past this question. There's a lot of blowback about how teams are even chosen for WTC, right?
Yeah.
Because any post that comes up, it's like, yeah, Team America, they're third for WTC. Oh, wow, that's so good. Or fourth, or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
The first response every time is, "So how do you get onto team?" I don't think it's really fair. They just pick whoever they want. And you're like, "Well, thanks, Mr. 27,000th in the ITC with one RTT win."
Yeah.
Great feedback.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, everyone feels they have something to contribute.
Yeah.
So when they have these titles, like you have that how to hack the hobby score at LVO, the guy's like, "Oh, the only thing holding me back for winning LVO was my hobbying, so I'm going to learn how to hack this." Or they have an opinion that they want to share. Because if you notice, a lot of the clickbaity titles that go out there is they're designed to kind of tap into your anger centers in your brain. They're like butcher's nails for content. So you can go in and just, even if you go in, and we joke about Spike, but I read there a lot. I go there a lot, and I go there based on their titles.
Yeah.
So even though they're doing that, they're getting the engagement, they're getting the page views, they're getting the advertising fees for going there. Honestly, it doesn't matter what they write because they already sent you in there.
Yeah.
So like that's where it comes from, is our innate desire to be right. And our innate desire to be like, well, I believe that this is this, and kind of just going in with that engagement more than anything else. I mean, Dickie, what's your take on this?
I sent you. Do you remember that YouTube? It's a YouTube content creator specifically on 40K. I can't remember her name.
No, for sure.
Yeah, and
we disagreed heavily on. Like,
we disagreed.
It was a content creator.
I was like, she's like. It's just how I think it would be a great interview, and you're just like, I hate it so much, and it was just like, it would be really funny, and you're like, nope, don't want to do it. And I was like, oh, okay, but like, everything she does is very like, every post is so clickbaity and like so negative. I will say they're very negative as well. Like all the Spiky Bits articles generally are negative, even when they wanted to hire people. They even put it in a negative connotation. So I guess we need to start being negative on our titles now. Is that what we're gonna do?
I guess so.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think the thing to watch for is you have some content creators who start off amazing. And like this person, like Dickie, brought to my attention.
Yeah.
Started off great, then did the cardinal sin of a Patreon. Which is ironic because it's Patreon's everyone has one. Reward their creators.
Yeah.
I
don't think anyone uses it, but we have one.
No, because we never promote it. It's on Bell's whiteboard.
Yeah, it's on the whiteboard actually.
It's on the whiteboard. But what happens is when you get these negative videos, these clickbaity titles, they attract a certain corner of the hobby. A certain fandom comes to that, and they're like, "Well, I support what you're saying. You're brave for saying like FGW. I'm going to give you $5 a month." And more of these people come in, and you actually start making an okay income from it. But then as soon as you stop doing those negative videos, your income slides off. $5 goes to someone else. Yeah. And so they kind of get locked in this cycle of making these videos to make the money that they're used to from their things. Warhammer Australia is now, if you're looking to go to a new restaurant, you look at the reviews, do you sort by positive or negative? It's positive. A great point.
I'm a positive looker.
Search by positive too, because as someone who's worked in the service industry for like 8 years now, Negative people are just, ignore what they say.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's the problem with it, is it's grounded in hate. And I don't have a lot of time
Yeah.
to spend on Warhammer. And when I do, I don't want to be told that what I'm doing sucks.
Yeah, I think I guess for what we do, I guess I'll lump myself in there. I try to find the joke in it, and I know you do as well.
Yeah.
So we're trying to find the joke in just really negative things sometimes. It's just like, geez, I don't. This is almost too much. So I definitely get it for sure. Yeah.
Like, again, when we play games, I play a couple games a week. So 3 to 6 hours a week gaming. Preparing the show. About 2 hours, believe it or not. I actually put time into preparing this.
2 hours.
Like
I'm
maybe
shocked.
a couple hours editing.
Yeah.
Well, just from like the searching the pictures, the organizing them, the kind of the getting it in a way, filtering out the stuff that's just purely negative. I don't want to spend 10 to 15 hours of my week between painting, playing, and content creation.
Yeah.
To be told your hobby is gross and disgusting and is stupid and I hate it.
Yeah.
I don't want to know that. That's why, we try to be fun negative here instead of just negative.
And that being said, join our Patreon and you can see all of John's pictures before the show.
Nope, you can't, because there are roll-offs to Grim contributors, which actually, looking at our regular 50 to 60 people who show up to watch this junk, you're pretty much all Grim contributors now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Honorary ones,
Yay.
unpaid. Yay. Dickie, I think we're going to round it out.
Right.
It's been a pretty good week, I think, so far. Danny will be back next week. I think we even have an actual guest next week. Look at that, doing the work at Hart.
Are you gonna let people in on who he is or who she is?
I'm gonna look it up real quick
hit me.
and see who it is. I mean, would you believe I even have like booking software and everything going for this show?
I'm impressed.
Choose not to use it.
I'm impressed.
I would be too. Let me see. Pulling up the calendar.
Fill this silence. As
Heck no,
honorary
the
Jubilee
29th.
Shield, thank you.
The 29th is my next book guest. But 22nd, I know I reached out to the guys on Frontiers. I'm going to get those on there. Frontiers is, if you're not listening to it, it's a great podcast and it covers international Warhammer. So like we cover a lot of US events, or some podcasts that covers UK events. The Frontiers guys cover the South Korean meta, the Australian meta,
Nice.
other kind of great places like that. If you've seen the winning WTC Australia team, and if you've heard Peter the Falcon rant about Perth, Australia is like a crazy great meta place to play. So definitely check those guys out. They're going to be on here in the future. 2 weeks from now, Dr. Stats himself, Nathaniel Hennig from Stat Check is going to be on. It's coming. Thank you everyone for hanging out with us. Dickie, thank you for being voluntold to not leave me on my own flailing instead of just having me flailing.
Can you imagine that show? You thought the tier show was bad. Imagine
Matt, it would literally just be Dickie, put up my YouTube screen. We're going to be watching memes.
You're gonna watch a video. What movie would you watch the whole time? And what if you could pick a video? What movie would it be?
So here's the option. If it was just me solo, we would stream just a quarter of the screen because I know how YouTube works.
Yeah.
The Ultramarine movie. We would just wait to we'll go through the Ultramarine movie there.
Okay, I'm down. I like it. I think that's good.
We should do that sometime.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll be a special. If you're insane enough to want to come to LVO and watch the Ultramarine movie with us, we'll set something up. Let us know. But it was a pretty amazing show. I'm surprised. Dickie, thank you so much for coming on. You can catch Dickie again either whenever I don't do my job or Kicker's on a boat or Sass out of here. He's like a #1 backup host for this.
Yeah, actually, I'm pretty sure I will be on Wednesday for all the people that are talking about it because Seth is gone. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll be there Wednesday. So, yay. Yeah.
Guys, thanks everyone for watching. We'll be back next Monday. I'm going to guarantee at this point a guest. And it won't be Val. It won't be Dickie.
Yeah.
It'll be Warhammer related. But as always, it's pretty grim after dark.